I'll never forget the first time I went to Washington, D.C. We had scheduled several tours, but my favorite of all on that particular trip was our visit to the United States Department of Treasury, where they print this, the money. It was interesting to listen to what they do, but especially when it came to how they make the money to try to prevent counterfeiting. The tour guide actually told us how, depending on what denomination the bill is, the higher it goes, the more things that they will sew in, the more markings that they will put in, so that people will know it's authentic. You've probably been there. You've probably been to a convenience store where if you gave them a $20 bill, they hold it up to the light and they look for certain markings, or they take a marker that they have and they run across it, and if it's a certain color, they know that it's authentic and it's not real. But here's what's interesting, is that sometimes we think the newer it looks, the more real it must be. But that's not necessarily true. Appearances can be deceiving, can't they? Because if I take this $100 bill, some of you are going, you are taking a $100 bill and crumpling it up. That's exactly right. But I bet you if you were here right now and I said, hey, can I give you this crumpled up $100 bill, that you would still take it because it's usable. It doesn't matter what the bill has been through. It doesn't matter where it's been, whether it's been washed, crushed, stepped on, left outside. It will still have the markings of authenticity. It's true in life too. You know, one of the biggest things that people will say, one of the reasons why they say, well, I don't go to church, is they say, there are hypocrites in the church. Many of you that have known me for years have heard me talk about Zig Ziglar. One of my favorite quotes by him is when someone has said, we used to say to Zig, well, I don't go because there's hypocrites in the church. Zig would say, well, come on in, we got room for one more. Because all of us, to a certain degree, have hypocrisy in our lives. But it doesn't mean that we're still not the real deal. See, sometimes I think we make the mistake that we think, well, I'm just not real. I'm being hypocritical because I've made mistakes or because I've had things that have happened to me in my life. But that's not true. And that's what I'm going to be talking about this coming Sunday, July the 14th, right here at Community Bible Church in Dania Beach. I'm doing a message called How to Be the Real Deal. We're going to look at what are the markings of authenticity and how we can put them to work in our lives, and we can work on them even more so that when people look at us, they'll say, you know what, that's the real deal, and that person's the real deal, and I want to know what makes them tick. And often what happens is they'll ask us about our faith and who we know, and we could talk about the grace and the faith that we have in Christ and the grace that we received in Him. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this coming Sunday right here at Community Bible Church in Dania Beach. Remember, 2 morning worship services in person, one at 9:45 a.m. and one at 11 o'clock a.m. If you can't make it in person, you can tune in online live at 11 o'clock on our live feed on our YouTube channel. And if you miss all of that, you can always pick it up on demand later. But if you've ever wanted to know what it meant to be the real deal and how to know when someone is the real deal, we'll talk about it this Sunday. We'll see you then.